there's been an utter loss of faith in democracy. Oh, if you ask, if you ask people, why are you censoring? Their ultimate answer is, well, we do not trust the people to have information or to make, good choices when they have information in front of them. And when you get to that point, you're saying we don't trust the people anymore. We don't trust the demos. We don't trust the publica. We don't trust democracy. And so they've already chosen we need a different system of government, one that is run by something other than the people, because the people can no longer be trusted. And that is a really alarming thought, but it is inevitable. It's the inevitable conclusion of what's happening today with this widespread embrace of censorship as a governing tool.
All hands, this is the captain. We are going into battle. All hands, battle stations. Red alert. I repeat, red alert. This is no drill. This is no drill.
Alex Jones was right, is the maxim. And I said that just yesterday.
Censorship in social media, and by extension, narrative control in the mainstream media monopoly, has become oppressive. We've seen the devastating effects these circumstances have had on society, and not just in America, but around the world. For a perspective on where we are, we should remember what pushed us further down this slippery path.
The epidemic of malicious fake news and false propaganda that flooded social media over the past year, it's now clear that so-called fake news can have real-world consequences. It's imperative that leaders in both the private sector and the public sector step up to protect our democracy, to protect our democracy, to protect our democracy.
Alex Jones was right, is the maxim. And I said that just yesterday.
YouTube is part of the new tyranny. There are now a great many issues which have been placed so far beyond debate that dissenters are erased simply for raising opinions deemed incorrect, for being guilty of what Orwell would call wrongthink. This level of oppression was unthinkable until Alex Jones was successfully erased from the social media giants under new controls. The most demoralizing facet of this expanding tyranny, which is perhaps the point, is that people who propagate the approved narrative, even if it is completely and obviously false, are rewarded as if they are doing something meritorious. I've heard the arguments about how YouTube is a private forum and has the right to restrict what is posted. I do not agree with this. Section 230 is part of the Telecommunications Act, which Bill Clinton signed. In paragraph A, it sets out the premises upon which the act is based. In subparagraph 3, Congress expressly state that the Internet should provide a forum for a true diversity of political discourse. In paragraph B2, Congress specified that it is the policy of the United States to preserve the vibrant and competitive free market of ideas. This policy of the Internet as a sanctuary for freedom of speech is in furtherance of the goal of the First Amendment, which expressly guarantees free men the right of freedom of speech. The policy is also in furtherance of the goals of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which was adopted in 1976. Just as our founding documents are based upon our inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, this treaty derives its expression of human rights in part from the inherent dignity of every person. This treaty also recognizes that freedom can only be achieved if conditions are created whereby everyone may enjoy his civil and political rights. The treaty guarantees everyone the freedom to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas of all kinds, either orally, in writing, or in print, in the form of art, or through any other media of his choice. In 1859, John Stuart Mill stated the principle elegantly. If all mankind minus one were of one opinion, and only one person were of the contrary opinion, mankind would be no more justified in silencing that one person than he, if he had the power, would be justified in silencing mankind. Thus, the conventional wisdom that Section 230 grants the social media companies immunity to do whatever they want does not have a sound legal foundation. Furthermore, Paragraph C provides that any immunity these monsters have is expressly limited to actions taken in good faith. In other words, if they are not acting in good faith, then they have no immunity. The way I see it, acts in furtherance of a conspiracy to oppress freedom of speech and to advance an approved narrative is the exact opposite of good faith. The point being that the social media companies present the not yet erased with a moral dilemma. In the face of unconstitutional and otherwise illegal censorship, should creators compete in the marketplace to develop a better platform, or should they stay on the existing platform and use the oppressor's tools against him?
Read Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Think about it.
In Chapter 2 of The Art of War, Sun Tzu reflects on the cost of war and notes that it will exact a heavy cost on the civilian population. He advises that the enemy's resources be tapped when possible to offset this cost. Paraphrasing, he advises that $1 in value taken from the enemy is worth 20 of one's own. I have to think about this some more. In the meantime, I will be posting my videos on Rumble. Depending upon how YouTube channels present on your device, there should be an About tab somewhere in the masthead. Clicking on this tab should take you to the channel description and social media links. The Rumble link in my About section should take you to my channel on Rumble.